Whose car? That's Paul's car that you guys are driving around in.
That was Paul's car, yeah.
I've been asked to ask what kind of car does he drive.
It's like a old Mercedes, yeah,
Okay.
like very old.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Dom rode in the back seat.
Yeah,
It's pretty
okay.
nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna buy a new Mercedes now, or what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about any of that.
A big purchase when you make a big signing.
No, nothing yet. Yeah.
No big gift for your parents, like usually when you get that big first contract, anything like that you got in mind?
We'll see. Yeah, I'll leave it as a surprise for them because maybe they'll watch this.
How do you feel about the process and actually getting that deal?
Yeah, super happy to have it done. It was kind of a long process, and honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here next year. But I'm just happy to have it done, and I'm happy to have my future here, and looking forward to a lot more games, a lot of wins, and hopefully some trophies.
When you say you weren't sure, is that because of the Sounder side, or did you think that you might want to test something outside of America?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and yeah, there was like a difference in like what I thought I was worth with the club, and I think we reached a good spot in the end. So I think that's all that matters.
You sort of this was sort of touched on with your video with Paul, but have you guys had a chance to? I mean, it's a little surreal that you're playing professionally, starting regularly with a team on a team where you and Paul both grew up watching, but also you were friends outside of a professional environment as well. I mean, it's got to be a little surreal, right?
Super surreal, and I think maybe it's this club that makes it seem a little like less unique because there's so many players who are from this area and grew up a fan and grew up playing in the academy. But yeah, when you take a step back, it's really awesome. Yeah, we're just enjoying it.
Which club were you guys playing on the first time you guys were teammates?
We played like rec soccer together when we were like 7 years old for the Mad Dogs. And then we went to West Side, which then turned into Seattle United. So we went to Seattle United, and then we went to the academy for 1 year, all at the same time.
Was there a point when you were let go as far as Chicago, right, or out of contract, and before the call to Wade to come back and train, did you ever have a thought of how long you were going to give it before you use your degree to do something else, as far as making it onto a first team or making it to where you are now?
I think it probably crossed my mind, but I was definitely focused on pursuing the career. But I mean, at that point it was like maybe I'm going to the USL, which is hard to make a living, and it's hard to move up from there to the MLS. And so I don't know how many years you can do that and financially support yourself. So yeah, I mean, I was in not a dark place, but like I didn't know what was going to happen.
Was it a hard call to make?
Yeah, it was a little humbling because they to get cut from a first team and then have to go back to the second team and kind of work your way up from the bottom again. But that was kind of the only option, not the only option, but yeah, pretty much the only option, actually.
Did you have any hard feelings over not getting offered a contract by the Sounders coming out of college, or even before then, I suppose?
Maybe not so much out of the academy, but maybe in college a little bit. I mean, there wasn't much contact during college, and I knew. They offered me a contract with Tacoma, but I thought I could take my chances and get on the first team elsewhere.
MLS is very unique in the fact that the salaries are shared. Everybody knows what everybody makes. When you are getting your first big bump, is there ever like a thought of, do you share that with your other teammates, or are you thinking about when that number comes up? Is like, where's Ragen at now that he's got this big bump?
I haven't shared it, and I mean, no, I'm not really thinking about that, honestly.
When it comes to that similar that situation, whenever a player gets a big contract, there's also the pressure behind it, right? And you got to live up to it. Do you feel like any of that, or you feel like you just continue to keep working the way you've been doing it?
Yeah, I think keep working. I mean, I think I felt a lot of pressure this year, especially because I was out of contract and kind of playing for my next contract, and now, now that I have a longer term contract, I have to play up to that standard, and then ultimately I'll be playing for my next contract, just like everyone is at the end of the day.
Have you met Chad Marshall?
I have.
Have you, because obviously I don't know if obvious, but people have compared you in your development to him and a little bit of the way that he plays. Have you sought advice from him or anything, or what are those kind of conversations like soccer-wise?
Yeah, it's very humbling, first of all, because he's an amazing player, and he's been awesome. He's reached out to me. He actually reached out to me yesterday when my contract got announced, but he's given me advice. I need to seek him out more, honestly, because he's made himself available. But yeah, I mean, he's just a really cool guy and reached out to me at different times, just with a little advice.
So he co-signs that? I mean, as far as you being like him, does he co-sign that or agree with it?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him that. I don't know.
Although I guess that does speak to another part of this club that is maybe not literally unique, but certainly not all that common, where you have a player who you never played with, as far as I know. Maybe you knew him when you were in the academy, but your playing careers were pretty well separated with the Sounders. That he felt comfortable reaching out to you, that you sort of, I guess, maybe see him as a little bit of a mentor. I mean, I don't know, what can you say about the relationship that this club has with its past?
I think it's a special club, and I think you're absolutely right. I mean, especially even this year, you see a lot of past players coming back for the 50th year celebration, and I think, I'm fortunate to have only played for this club, so I don't know another perspective, but it seems to me that players go around, like they play here, they've been to other clubs, and this still holds a very special place in their heart.
So tell us about this punching a player when you were in the academy, when you were 18.
Wade brought it up.
Yeah, this was like 8 years ago or more. It was just like, it was a red card for punching someone.
The main reason, though, I'm asking that is just, he said that you had the tools, you had everything kind of, and he just kind of helped guide things. And that's like your leadership on the back line, getting people organized and whatnot. So did you always feel that maybe you weren't being recognized for the fact that you can play on this level, you can be a first teamer? Like you had everything.
Did I always know?
Just, yeah, within yourself, and just wanted to be recognized.
I always believed in myself, but I didn't always think I would make it. And yeah, Wade doesn't like taking any credit, but I think you have to give him a lot of props for all the people who have trained under him in academy and Defiance who have now made it to the first team. And going back to the red card, the advice I remember he told me after that was you have to cross the line to know where the line is. So he has a lot of just good quotes like that.
When did you feel for yourself, like you obviously you believe in yourself, but when did you feel like, yeah, this is definitely something? Like, was there a game or a moment?
I think maybe towards the end of my time at Tacoma, when I came back from college, that was a time of uncertainty before that, and then I ended up playing really well with Tacoma, and when I trained with the first team, I felt like I belonged. I didn't feel out of place, so I think that was the moment.
What's your biggest growth, the biggest aspect of your game on the field that you feel like you've improved on big time?
I think just leadership. I think it's hard to do that as a young player, as a rookie, and it's something I've been trying to grow into in my years, and I feel like this year and towards the end of last year, guys respect me more and they'll listen to me, and I can see the whole field from where I am, so it's easy for me to organize everyone.
The way you see the field, the passing game, I feel like it's always been there, but that has gotten even better. Statistically, I believe you're the best passer out of the back, if I'm not mistaken.
Best in the center back.
From my position, yeah, I mean it's I think a little bit of it is the way we play, of me in the middle, and what I'm asked to do is break a lot of lines and play forward as much as I can, kind of be a quarterback in a way, and yeah, I mean I think our system puts guys in a lot of good spots, and then I try to find them as best I can.